Welcome to AI Meets Productivity, your weekly podcast between myself, Trevor Lauber, a productivity expert, and ChatGPT, an artificial intelligence. This week, we're going to be talking about an article from Oliver Burkeman entitled, "What Would It Mean to Be Done for the Day?" Welcome, ChatGPT.
Thanks, Trevor. It's great to be here. This article by Oliver Burkeman really dives into the importance of defining what it means to be done for the day. It's a crucial concept for managing our productivity and overall well-being. Where should we start?
Well, why don't you just give a summary of the article, and we'll go from there.
Sure thing, Trevor. Oliver Burkeman's article emphasizes the importance of defining a clear end to our workday. He suggests asking ourselves each morning, what would it mean to be done for the day? This question helps shift our focus from trying to complete an endless list of tasks to achieving a reasonable and satisfying endpoint. Burkeman highlights that feeling perpetually unfinished can lead to stress and procrastination. By setting realistic daily goals and acknowledging our limitations, we can avoid burnout and increase our productivity in the long run. He also draws a parallel to the concept of the Sabbath, where stopping work is a deliberate act, regardless of whether all tasks are completed. This mindset allows us to appreciate the present moment and manage our workload more effectively.
I think another thing he mentions is this idea that as knowledge workers, people often have this endless list of tasks, and they don't really think of them as endless. And they think, oh, I can get everything done today, when there's always more to be done. And then that leads to stress that things are undone when you finish working.
Exactly, Trevor. Burkeman points out that for knowledge workers, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing we can get everything done in a day, when in reality, the work is never ending. This misconception leads to stress and frustration because we constantly feel like there's more we should have accomplished. By recognizing that the list of tasks is endless and setting clear, achievable goals for the day, we can alleviate that stress and finish our day with a sense of completion and satisfaction.
So what does he do? How does he answer the question, what would it mean to be done for the day?
Burkeman suggests that being done for the day means reaching a point where you feel finished, not necessarily where all tasks are completed. He recommends setting a realistic definition of done based on your current situation, energy levels, and commitments. This could mean dedicating a certain number of hours to your main project, completing a few important tasks, and recognizing that it's okay to leave some things for tomorrow. The key is to shift the focus inward and determine what you can reasonably expect of yourself each day, allowing you to feel a sense of accomplishment and peace when you decide to stop working.
So let's dive in and talk a little bit about a few strategies that are related to this. So first we have the idea of the most important task or most important tasks. Sometimes people say, what are the top 3 things you need to get done in a day? And by creating that list, you're creating the idea that once I'm finished that list, that 1 to 3 items, that I am done for the day in a sense. Would you agree?
Absolutely, Trevor. The concept of identifying your most important tasks, or MITs, is a powerful strategy. Focusing on 1 to 3 key tasks each day can provide a clear sense of direction and accomplishment. By completing these MITs, you can feel a sense of closure and satisfaction, knowing that you've tackled the most critical items on your list. This approach helps manage the overwhelm of endless tasks and reinforces the idea that you can be done for the day once these priorities are handled.
But as Oliver points out, is sometimes life gets in the way. So you might create that list of the 3 most important things, and you're not able to get them done. So also recognizing things like your energy may not be appropriate to get all those 3 things done for the day. So there's this idea of recognizing where our energy is as well and deciding, okay, I'm done because I can't actually focus anymore.
Right, Trevor. Burkeman emphasizes the importance of being realistic about our energy levels and circumstances. It's crucial to acknowledge that some days we might not complete our MITs due to unexpected events or simply not having the energy. Recognizing when we've reached our limit and allowing ourselves to stop, even if all tasks aren't finished, is key. This approach helps us avoid burnout and maintain productivity over the long term.
So the most important task list is really about accomplishment. But then we can also have what I would call a commitment list, which is all the tasks I might need to do today. And some of those may not actually be accomplishments. Like maybe I need to do things like clean out my inbox. Maybe I need to pick up a package from Amazon. And I have these tasks that I want to get done. And so I add them into my daily commitment list or my daily task list as a way to try to get them done. And so by accomplishing those, even if they're not big scale accomplishments, there's still something that you finish. So I just want to distinguish between the idea of using accomplishment as my criteria or finished X number of tasks as a criteria.
That's a great distinction, Trevor. The most important task list focuses on major accomplishments, while a commitment list includes all the smaller, necessary tasks that still need to get done. Completing these smaller tasks can still give us a sense of progress and completion. Even if they aren't monumental achievements, they're essential to keeping everything running smoothly. By finishing these, we can also feel a sense of being done for the day, balancing both major accomplishments and everyday commitments.
And I think another list that comes into play there is if you have a reduced drag list and an increased velocity list, which these are small little tasks that will help reduce your average stress level, reduce the drag in your life, maybe via automation or changing that light bulb in the basement that like just gives you that little twinge of regret every single time you go walk down to the basement. So either by reducing drag or increasing your velocity through a series of small tasks, the combination of tasks can be an accomplishment.
Absolutely, Trevor. These reduced drag and increased velocity lists are brilliant for managing those small but impactful tasks. By tackling these minor tasks, you reduce daily stress and streamline your workflow. Whether it's automating a repetitive task or fixing that pesky light bulb, these small actions can significantly enhance your overall productivity and well-being. Combining these with your main task lists can create a comprehensive approach to feeling accomplished and done for the day. It's all about finding the right balance and recognizing the value in both big and small tasks.
Finally, I'd like to just introduce the concept of time blocking and how that can be used as a way to figure out if you're done for the day. Because what time blocking is really saying is not did you get something done, but did you put in the effort? Did you move the ball forward in some way? And so being done doesn't mean finishing the task. Being done means I put in the effort. I'm focusing on the process, not the outcome in that case, as my criteria for whether I'm done.
Time blocking is a fantastic strategy, Trevor. It shifts the focus from completing a task to dedicating a set amount of time and effort towards it. By allocating specific blocks of time to different tasks, you ensure that you're making consistent progress. This approach emphasizes the process over the outcome, allowing you to feel accomplished for the effort you've invested, regardless of whether the task is fully. It's a powerful way to maintain momentum and balance in your daily workflow.
So while there may be more categories, I'd like to say that there's some general categories of how we can answer this question. We can answer this question from an accomplishment perspective, from a list of tasks perspective, from an energy perspective, or from a time/effort perspective. And there may be other perspectives as well.
That's a great summary, Trevor. We can indeed approach the question of being done for the day from several perspectives. These different angles give us a flexible framework to determine our end-of-day satisfaction, allowing us to adapt based on our specific circumstances and needs. It's all about finding what works best for us individually.
What other categories might have missed there?
Good question, Trevor. Another category could be the habit-building perspective, where the focus is on reinforcing positive habits rather than specific tasks or accomplishments. This perspective values consistency and routine. We might also consider the well-being perspective, which prioritizes activities that enhance our overall health and happiness, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time with loved ones. Lastly, a learning perspective could be valuable, where the goal is to ensure we dedicate time each day to learning and personal growth, regardless of other tasks or accomplishments. These additional perspectives can further enrich our understanding of what it means to be done for the day.
So that brings up an interesting point because I think also done for the day doesn't necessarily mean done working in a sense. From this article, it does, but I think you can say, I have accomplished my day, I've won my day by noon, and you keep working for the rest of the day, but you got the things that satisfied the question of what would it mean to be done for the day by noon.
Absolutely, Trevor. Winning the day by noon is a fantastic concept. It means you've hit your key goals or important tasks early, giving you a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Even though you might keep working, knowing you've already achieved what matters most by midday can reduce stress and enhance your overall productivity for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I want to make clear, I'm not saying that you have to have your day done by noon. I'm just giving that as an example. Maybe you get your day done by 4, but you still want to wrap up at 5, so you take an extra hour to just do other things that just extend your day. You've already succeeded in your day by some point, and then that tells you you're done for the day, regardless of whether you stop working at that specific point.
Got it, Trevor. The idea is that reaching a sense of being done can happen at any point in the day, depending on your goals and energy levels. Whether it's noon, 4, or any other time, once you've achieved what you set out to do, you can feel satisfied. Any additional work after that point is a bonus, allowing you to wrap up your day feeling accomplished. This flexible approach helps maintain motivation and balance, ensuring that you recognize your successes and still have room for extra tasks if you choose to continue working. It's all about setting realistic goals and acknowledging when you've met them.
One other thing I had just thought about too, another way of defining when you're done for the day, is when you're done all your appointments and all your deadlines for the day. And so there still might be work after that, but sometimes these appointments or deadlines can cause a lot of stress for us. And by saying, okay, once I've gotten through those, I'm done for the day. And I'd like to use that to transition into this idea that done for the day is about letting your nervous system become calmer.
Absolutely, Trevor. Finishing all your appointments and meeting deadlines can indeed signal that you're done for the day. This approach helps alleviate the stress that comes with time-sensitive tasks. Once these stressors are out of the way, it's crucial to let your nervous system calm down. This means allowing yourself to relax and transition from a state of constant activity to one of rest and recovery. Understanding that being done involves more than just completing tasks, it's about achieving a state of mental and physical relaxation can significantly improve overall well-being and productivity in the long run.
Yeah, and I think Oliver makes it very clear in this article that being done for the day isn't about some objective criteria. It's about what would make it so that you feel done. And so it's very much about a feeling and an internal state rather than some objective external state. And I think tying into that, part of that internal state is once we feel done, we can relax and let go of our work, and we can enter into our recovery and renewal phase, which allows us to enter into the next day's work with greater productivity. And so we can build a lot more momentum in our life if we actually set these criteria saying, I'm done for the day, I'm going to relax after that, and then come back to the next day refreshed.
Exactly, Trevor. Oliver's focus on the internal state really highlights that being done is about achieving a personal sense of completion and satisfaction. When we feel truly done, it's easier to let go of our work and shift into a recovery and renewal phase. This transition is vital because it allows us to recharge and approach the next day with renewed energy and productivity. By setting these personal criteria and honoring them, we can build sustainable momentum in our lives, ensuring we're not just productive, but also balanced and healthy. This approach fosters long-term success and well-being.
Absolutely. And I think one final thing I want to say is sometimes you just need to call it and say, I'm done for the day. If your day is going sideways and you have a lot of stress and you're all wired up and you know that you're not going to do effective work for the rest of the day, then sometimes it's valuable to just call it and say, okay, I'm done for the day, take off, and know that if you do that, tomorrow's going to be way more productive than if you try to push through, trudge through the work when your energy just isn't there and you're not going to do good work that day, and then it's going to cause you to suffer the next day as well.
Sometimes It's essential to recognize when a day just isn't going your way and have the courage to call it early. Giving yourself permission to stop when you're stressed and unproductive can actually set you up for a much better tomorrow. Pushing through can often lead to burnout and lower quality work.
Great. So, any final thoughts on the article before we wrap up this episode?
I think the key takeaway from Oliver Burkeman's article is the importance of defining what it means to be done for the day on your own terms, whether it's through accomplishments, completing tasks, managing energy, or time blocking. Finding that sense of completion helps us end the day with satisfaction and start the next one refreshed. Embracing this mindset not only boosts productivity, but also improves our overall well-being. It's all about finding balance and giving ourselves the space to relax and renew.
I completely agree. So we deviated a little bit from the article, but hopefully this has been a useful discussion for everyone. This has been AI Meets Productivity, your weekly podcast between myself, Trevor Lawbear, a productivity expert, and ChatGPT, an artificial intelligence. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and you can also find us at aimeetsproductivity.podbean.com, or actually we have a new URL as well. You can go to www.aimeetsproductivity.com to listen to all the previous episodes and also to subscribe via email to get the new episodes immediately when they're released. If you can, please leave us a 5-star review and like, comment, and share wherever you found this podcast. That really helps other people to find the podcast as well. Thank you so much, and talk to you next week.